So now we're gonna check to see if this thing has trans fluid. If it does, it's most likely the trans. Oh, damn. Think about oil. Well, that's not supposed to be empty. So what we're gonna do is, I have some 8 and 9 speed fluid. We're gonna put some in there and then see where it's leaking from. It's hard to tell. This whole thing is drenched. So let's do that. See how it's going down? So it's taking it. There's about 2 quarts in here. If it needs more, we'll put more. We're gonna fill it until it starts dripping out, and then that's how you know it's full. Let me clean it up with some brake cleaner. All the bubbles. So that means it's empty. So we need some more. right, so this one's all good to go. If you remember before, it was throwing a code for the, let me shut this thing off. It was throwing a code for the SRV, the short runner valve. Now it's not anymore. The reason why his check engine light is gonna stay on is because his AC pressure sensor is actually missing. He's missing the AC lines, and here's the plug for the pressure sensor. So that is gonna trigger a check engine light. Other than that, she's running a lot better. You can see that it's idling a lot better too. So now we're gonna move on to this one. This is the one that got towed. All right. Why isn't this going in? Okay. So that's for the ECM. We know that's good. This goes over here. All right, hop in. All right, guys, so this car was towed in 2 days ago for, it would start, but the trans wouldn't go into gear. When you start it and put it in gear, the lights on the shifter start flashing, and then the lights on the dash start flashing, and it says put it back in park. So it was low on fluid. We put, what, 5 quarts? We put 5 quarts of fluid in there, hoping that that was fixed, and then we got back in here, we're still doing the same thing. So I was checking a couple things. Turned out that this transmission was replaced, and the customer never told us. So it had a 2018 transmission, the car's a 2017, meaning, long story short, there was different OSs, operating systems, in the 2 transmissions. So what I had to do was reflash the TCM, which is the transmission control module, to the 2017, and look now. So I put it in reverse, it goes in gear, moves, put it in drive, done. So if you ever do a transmission job, you either have to replace the valve body from your old transmission, or you have to get it reflashed. I don't know why the customer never told us that, but this one's good to go. He still has the ABS light on because his right rear, the right rear wheel speed sensor has an issue. The check engine light is on because he has an O2 sensor problem. But his main concern of, the whole transmission problem is done. As you can see, he goes forward now. Isn't one of the tires flat?
This one.
Well, you got to put air in that tire. So let's go ahead and move it around. You can hop out, and then we'll put air in the tire and get it out of there. Yeah.
How much is it? On its way.
Where's the guy for the track hawk? Can you feel it?
Whatever you want to do.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna have you drive. You started doing it for how long?
Probably like 10,000 miles maybe. Oh, it just started now, but I've had the car for 20. But
okay.
I just started doing this, so like I have it here.
That right there?
Yeah.
Do it again. Okay, I feel that.
So that was the rear bushing, I'm pretty sure. And that
sounds like it's underneath.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Like it feels like right here, but I saw that when I had somebody else doing the same thing too. I could see like the rear diff kind of like jump.
Shifting up. Okay. So what does it do when you drive?
So that kind of sound, I don't know if it's that same exact sound where it's going like kind of that humming noise.
Okay.
I'll take you for a quick drive.
Is it stock other than the suspension being dropped?
It has an intake on it, but no like pulleys or anything like that.
Okay.
It's straight pipe through your muffler, or from the muffler back, from the suitcase back.
Okay.
Kept the suitcase on.
Here, pull in this parking lot over here, this empty one. And I want you to brake torque it. So
Okay.
keep your foot on the brake and then give it some gas.
Okay.
And then let's see if it makes that same sound.
So it had the, right before I got to the engine mounts got done.
Okay. So foot all the way on the brake.
Yep.
And then just give it some gas. A little more. A little more. No, I don't feel it. No. We'll put it on the hoist.
Okay.
But it sounds like something from the center.
It's kind of that too, and that's why it made me think like transfer case right away, but...
Can you make a tight turn? A U-turn? Stop all the way. And then just turn the wheel all the way, one side, yep. And then turn. Just give it some little bit of gas. No, transfer case is fine. Usually if it's going out, it'll start like kicking, you know?
All right, so what will happen though is if like I'm gonna try and get up a little bit, like maybe like 55 here, and then slow down to your shop and see if I can...
I hear it.
You hear that?
Yep.
I'm gonna grab my bag. I think I threw it in there somewhere. I think it's in the trunk, so let me...
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Come see this. See these cradle bushings?
Yeah.
So they're leaking out. Look at this one.
What does that mean?
That's his issue. I don't know if those are replaceable though. They might be, but it's possibly part of the cradle. Everything else looks fine. Honestly, no leaking from the, especially these boots, sometimes when they rip up on the inside, they start making some noise. But they look fine. And like what he said, he doesn't beat on it. That's his issue. I'm trying to see the part number on there. Two, 4, 6, something, something. So you see those two mounts for the rear diff that are in the cradle?
Yep.
See how they're leaking out the grease?
Oh yeah.
You see that? Other one's doing the same thing.
Okay.
There. I think that's the issue right there. Okay. Yeah, I try my best not to screw up your what do you call it? right, come on. So this is the old intake. As you can see, it was broken from, if it sits like that. So this one was broken. And then this was broken. It definitely needed to be replaced. So we got the new one on. The new one's doing its job. It's running fine. But now the customer wants to do some lights, right?
Yes, sir.
So he has these. This diffuser is crazy though. He has these lights over here. He wants it wired up to the tail light. So we're gonna raise it, see if there's any pigtails attached to these, and then run it to the tail light so they can work together. He said there's lights, there's wires in here, right?
Yeah. All right. So they're tucked in right behind. And he wants the side marker.
Let's get it. So they're right here. Is that oil? Look at that.
Can you wire them all one shot from the side markers to?
I mean, technically I could wire them to the side markers.
So you're giving power to it right now?
Yeah. So that means these wires are useless. This probably connects to like a remote or some other shit. So if we give it power and ground, well, ground's anywhere, but if we take power from the side marker and run it to each one of these, then it should turn on with the side marker and work like OEM. But so these are the wires for that rear diffuser light. We already went over this. We're gonna be using the power and ground. We're not gonna be tapping into these two. Here is the side marker line. You got ground, which is this black one over here. And then when you switch on the headlight, this one should get power. It's very simple, like that. So what we'll do is we'll tap into this right here, because at first I was gonna just feed it right through to the taillight directly, but if the customer wanted to take off the bumper again, then he's gonna have to cut this off, which is not very professional. So what I'll do is I'll tap it in right here, and I'll tape it up, make a loom, make it look good. We should have enough space, and then do the same thing to the other side. The reason why his side marker wasn't working, he got these cheap aftermarket ones. So as you can see, when I plug it in, if I move around the plug, it starts working. So all he has to do is replace the side markers with some better ones, and they'll start working fine. So let's go.